Have you ever found yourself sitting at your kitchen table late at night, staring at a stack of bills that never seems to get any smaller? It is now the year 2026, and the world feels faster and more expensive than it has ever been before. The economy has shifted in ways we could not have predicted even a few years ago, making the old rules of money feel obsolete. You work hard every single day. You sacrifice your precious time, and you give your best years to a career that often leaves you with barely enough to cover the basic costs of living. That heavy feeling in your chest is not just simple stress. It is the realization that you are trapped in a cycle that was designed to keep you running in place while the rest of the world moves forward. According to the latest data, over 65% of people are currently living from one paycheck to the next. They are barely keeping their heads above water, even in an age where technology and opportunity are everywhere. Living this way means you are not realizing your full potential. It means your resources are only sufficient for the immediate moment, leaving your future unprotected and uncertain. This financial state is like walking on a tightrope without a safety net, where one small mistake can lead to a long fall. If this sounds familiar to you, and you are tired of feeling like a passenger in your own life, then this conversation is the turning point you have been waiting for. We are going to explore the practical, hard-hitting truths about how to stop being a slave to your bank account. The first step to building a safer and more independent future is to acknowledge that one single stream of income is no longer enough in 2026. We live in a time dominated by digital advancement, where the barriers to starting a side venture have practically disappeared. In the past, starting a business required a massive amount of capital and a physical storefront. Today, all you need is a reliable internet connection and a specific skill that provides value to others. The rise of artificial intelligence and global digital networks has opened doors that were previously locked for the average person. One of the most effective ways to generate extra earnings is to initiate a side hustle alongside your regular 9-to-5 job. The goal here is not necessarily to become a millionaire overnight. The goal is to establish a foundation of financial stability so that you are not 100% dependent on an employer who could let you go at any moment. There is a common saying that the average millionaire has 7 different income sources. You do not have to be a millionaire to understand the wisdom of that strategy. Even generating a modest sum of $500 or $1,000 from a different source can be significantly more favorable than having just one paycheck. The modern online world gives you plenty of chances to increase your earnings through freelance platforms, digital consulting, or niche commerce. Taking advantage of these opportunities can provide you with the extra money needed to accelerate your journey toward freedom. However, making more money is only half of the battle. The second crucial pillar is making a budget that prioritizes saving over everything else. Many people agree that managing spending makes good sense, but very few people actually follow through with a strict plan. The average household is currently burdened with a staggering amount of debt, and much of that is caused by something called lifestyle inflation. As we earn more, we tend to spend more on things that do not actually improve our long-term happiness. In 2026, the temptation to spend is everywhere, hidden behind every click and every social media feed. To break free from the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, you must take full control of every single dollar that leaves your pocket. You need to create a detailed map that tracks your expenses in sections like groceries, rent, transportation, and entertainment. After you have mapped out your needs, you must set aside a portion of your income for savings before you pay anyone else. After you pay yourself, then and only then should you worry about paying the world. Even if you start with a very small amount, the habit of saving is more important than the initial number. As time goes on, you will see your savings slowly grow, and that growth will provide you with a sense of peace that no luxury purchase ever could. This leads us to the third essential step, which is reducing your spending with absolute discipline. Reaching your goal of financial freedom involves making smart choices that might feel difficult in the short term. Cutting back on spending means saving money on things you may not actually need to buy or use. The practice of spending every cent of your earnings is exactly what contributed to your current situation in the first place. You must be willing to find the small leaks that are slowly sinking your financial ship. In 2026, many of these leaks are digital, such as subscriptions for services you no longer use, or premium apps you have forgotten about. If you patiently keep a close eye on what you spend for a full month, you will find places where you are spending too much on things that do not add value to your life. This could mean eating at home more often, choosing a more affordable vehicle, or finding a living space that fits your actual needs rather than your ego. The less you spend on the unnecessary, the faster you can break free from the chains of the monthly paycheck cycle. While big changes to your lifestyle might not be possible right away, you can start with small adjustments today. Look closely at the smaller items in your budget. Use coupons and find cheaper ways to enjoy your free time. Reading a book or going for a walk can improve your thinking skills and your health without costing you a single penny. We must also talk about the hidden trap of convenience that modern technology has created. Ordering delivery or choosing the fastest shipping options might save a few minutes, but it often costs a premium that adds up to hundreds of dollars every month. The fourth rule is one of the most powerful for your mental health and your bank account. Do not owe anyone anything except for love. Too many people in our society have developed the habit of spending money they do not actually have. When debts accumulate, they put you in a tough financial spot that makes it nearly impossible to escape the cycle of struggle. Every time you pay back money you owe, you are also giving away extra money in the form of interest. Over time, these added charges from banks and credit card companies eat away a huge part of your hard-earned wealth. Getting rid of debt is the most important step to having a life without financial worries. Unfortunately, many individuals struggle to control their desires and end up getting tangled in a confusing web of money problems. You must decide that you are no longer going to be a servant to the lender. To do this effectively, you must understand your spending habits on a psychological level. It is not just about the numbers on a screen. It is about why you feel the need to spend. Are you buying things because you need them, or are you buying them to feel a certain way? In 2026, advertisers have become experts at triggering our emotions to make us buy on impulse. Having a firm grasp on your financial outflows empowers you to exercise real control over your life. Without keeping a close eye on your spending, your goals will remain nothing more than distant dreams. This brings us to a very important lesson about our modern culture. Do not measure yourself or your success by what other people possess. We live in an overtly materialistic society where everyone tends to care about what others think of their clothes, their cars, and their homes. However, you must remember that your own comfort and true happiness should be the only things that guide your choices. Getting into debt just to receive temporary praise from people who are likely struggling themselves is a very bad exchange. The stress of paying back loans is much harder to deal with than any short-lived recognition or social status. If you are genuinely comfortable with your choices, you should fully embrace them and ignore the critics. Most people are too busy dealing with their own worries to truly care about what you are driving or wearing anyway. We must also consider the rising costs of healthcare as we age, which makes financial security even more critical. Taking care of your body today is one of the best financial investments you can ever make. When you invest in your health, you are reducing the likelihood of massive medical bills in the future. In line with this, you must limit your credit card usage as much as possible. Credit cards are designed to be easy and convenient, but that convenience comes with a high price. It is very easy to swipe a card without much thought, but those transactions add up very quickly. The average household is carrying thousands of dollars in credit card debt, and that burden is growing every year. The best rule for using credit cards is to only use them when you have a real emergency and you have a plan to pay them off immediately. Otherwise, you are just digging a hole that will be very difficult to climb out of later. Finally, you must automate your savings to ensure that you are always moving forward. Savings should not be the last thing on your to-do list at the end of the month. Instead, it should be the very first thing that happens as soon as you get paid. I highly recommend setting up an automated system where at least 10% of your earnings is seamlessly transferred to a designated savings account. Once that money is out of your sight, you will learn to live on the remaining 90%. If you want to go even further, think about getting involved in index funds or investing in stocks and bonds that grow over time. This is the secret to making your money work for you while you sleep. In the beginning, your portfolio might be small, and the gains might feel invisible. But as the years pass, the power of compounding will take over. Compounding is the eighth wonder of the world, where your interest begins to earn interest of its own. There will come a day when your investments earn more in a single year than you do at your job. That is the moment of true freedom. That is the moment when you no longer work because you have to, but because you choose to. It takes time, it takes discipline, and it takes a willingness to be different from the crowd. But the peace of mind that comes with financial security is worth every single sacrifice you make today. In 2026, the gap between those who save and those who spend is growing wider every day. You have the power to decide which side of that gap you want to be on. Start small, stay consistent, and never lose sight of why you are doing this. You are not just saving money, you are buying back your time and your freedom. You are ensuring that you will never be a burden to your family or your community. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope these insights give you the strength to take the first step toward a better life. Take care of your resources and they will take care of you. I will see you in the next conversation.